Okay, and it is May 20th, and we are reading the introduction to The Habits of Health by Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. Beating the Odds. When I wrote about how abysmal diets were at creating successful long-term weight control a decade ago, it was news. Most people had no idea that many people who dieted would regain the weight they'd lost and become heavier than their pre-diet weight. More disturbing was the fact that many studies indicated that dieters suffer from worse long-term health compared to non-dieters. Today, more and more people realize that dieting is an ineffective solution, yet a recent survey revealed that almost 50% of women are currently on a diet. People are desperately trying to lose weight, but are relying on an outdated and ineffective approach. So 85% of people who go on a diet without behavioral support gain the weight back within 2 years. The desire to lose weight is more pressing than ever. In the US alone, almost 2/3 of the population is either overweight or obese, and levels of obesity are spreading at a frightening pace. The worldwide prevalence of obesity nearly tripled between 1975 and 2016. Globesity is truly becoming a pandemic with no resolution in sight. The planet's population of overweight people, over 1 billion, outnumbers the hungry, roughly 700 million. The healthy implications of weight gain are alarming. Its ability to generate chronic disease is unprecedented. Weight is a factor in the fact that almost half of all adults are suffering some form of cardiovascular disease, including heart attacks and strokes, as well as high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, some cancers, gastrointestinal problems, including gallbladder disease, osteoarthritis, poor bone health, and breathing problems, including sleep apnea and asthma. The unacceptably high rates of chronic disease that are caused by being overweight or obese have persisted for more than 2 decades and continue to create havoc with our health, our minds, and our pocketbooks, and our overall well-being, with no definitive answer on the horizon. But I have a feeling that you may already know this. What you really want to know is how to do something about it. Obesity, too much body fat, is a symptom of a much more complex system of mismatches between the way our body was designed to function and the world which we now find ourselves in. One of the goals of this book is to help you remove the excess weight caused by body fat, which robs you of your energy, stamina, and health. Yes, the main purpose of this book is much bolder and will have a broader impact. Our purpose is to help you reach optimal health and well-being so you can thrive in all the key areas of your life, achieving vibrancy in your physical health, fully enjoying your work, your play, your time with your family, and within your community. This book will help guide you in making optimal health a reality. This may seem like a stretch if you are currently overweight or obese, permanently tired, sleeping terribly, always stressed out, or feeling utterly alone. But let me share a little known secret. The goal of optimal health and well-being is possible for all of us. It is the difference between allowing yourself to be guided by your current story versus our ability to work together through this book to create your new story. We are going to show you a different perspective on what is possible, exploring what you really want in your life, and help you to make the necessary correction and daily choices that will, over time, produce the results that you want. And I love that. It's about each individual. It's not one size fits all. So, new guiding principles for your life. The goal of optimal health and well-being will determine your actions. The means of reaching that goal will be different for each of you and every one of us. Being optimal for a 20-year-old marathon runner is different from being optimal for a 75-year-old with a history of heart troubles. The point is that when you focus on creating future, that future is as good as you can be. It changes everything. It will inform your day-to-day in new ways and create the impetus to shift your behaviors. Now over on the left, Dr. A says, do you have a history of yo-yo dieting? According to studies, you are likely to gain more weight than your non-dieting friend and have poorer health. So let's change that by changing our identity. That was my little ad on the end there. And since reaching a heavy weight, becoming fit, sleeping better, and having a robust supportive structure are all vital pieces of reaching and maintaining health. We will help you continue these new behaviors for the rest of your life. Each day, gradually, you will become healthier by building self-efficacy with slow, steady process until one day you will be as optimal as you can be. The key to this becoming a reality is not a focus on the goal of optimal health or well-being, which may seem unattainable, but instead having the laser focus on building your day and influencing thousands of almost imperceptible choices you make every day. I want to repeat that. The key to this becoming a reality is not the focus on the goal of optimal health or well-being, which may seem unattainable, but the focus instead is having laser focus on building your day, tiny things, and influencing thousands of almost imperceptible choices you make every day. Tiny choices add up. We'll start by meeting you where you are now and discovering what you are capable of right now. We'll then take a baby steps and make the necessary adjustments in a way that doesn't dominate your already overwhelmed days. That's because an optimal life starts with more optimal mornings and more optimal evenings, which add up to more optimal days. Okay, you may still be skeptical that we can make all of this a reality. You've heard big promises and claims from health gurus in the past, and those didn't meaningfully change your life. So what's different about now? Let me state with 100% certainty that it does not rely on a high-tech solution that has emerged from the research laboratory, an innovative surgical procedure, or a fancy new exercise device. It isn't a tool that you can buy, and yet is extremely effective at combating the temptations in our modern world. It doesn't matter if you are exposed to highly addictive packaged foods or devices that pretend you can achieve what you want without expending energy and effort. Once you understand and can harness the power of this tool, you will be impervious to this nonsense. What is this powerful source? They're called the habits. Habits are responsible for 50% of every action you make every day. If you look at your current health and well-being, it is the result of your past and present habits. And because they are operating at a subconscious level, you might not even be aware of them. When we analyze our choices across the whole spectrum of our day, it becomes apparent that we spend most of our time sleepwalking through the decisions we take, whether it is what we are putting in our mouth, how we move or don't, the quality of our sleep, or the way we handle difficult conversations with our boss. Most of it is happening without conscious input. In isolation, these choices have little effect on our health and well-being, but when we add them up, they make all the difference in the world. They start developing when we are children and eventually become the operating system that guides us every single day. In this guidebook, we'll explore this complex tapestry of beliefs, thoughts, and habits. These habits are hardwired in your brain, and they've had the time to convince you that this is who you are and what you do. Identity, did you catch that? Authors, and authorities will tell you most people are not capable of making the changes necessary to transform their lifestyles. Others will give advice and sell you quick fixes or potions that will miraculously repair you. They won't. Only one path can transform your health and well being and make sustainable changes in your life. You have to change your habits. Looking to buy something that will make things better in human nature? The reality is that making things better is an inside job, but without the strategy or the skills, tools, and support to make real change, it is very difficult to go it alone. The good news is that there is a system that has used design thinking to provide real life answers to help make change a reality. It's called the Habits of Health. The Habits of Health transformational system. The Habits of Health is an owner's manual, and it's a pity that none of us received copy when we were born. The habits make the necessary adaptations to optimize our operating system and counter the negative effects rapid change is having on our health and life. The Habits of Health transformational system is comprehensive. It provides key components that can create predictable transformation in individual health and well-being. And if you are willing to learn and adopt the habits and make them part of your daily life, you will change. I believe that as long as you continue to apply the principles outlined here, these changes will be permanent. There is one central caveat to success: you. The X factor is your willingness to make a decision and take individual responsibility for your success. If you're prepared to do this, then I know it can work. Hundreds of studies show that our health improves if we adopt a healthy lifestyle, and better health improves all the areas of life within our overall well-being. You are more likely to enjoy your job, be successfully financially, have a healthier relationship with your family and friends, and be spiritually and mentally sound. As a physician, I rely on evidence-based science, and the literature and the research is clear. Change your lifestyle and you will change your health and well-being. The challenge has been the lack of predictable ways to make the necessary changes. It just seems too hard. And the low success rate of people trying to make that change validates this conclusion. What has been missing is a successful system. When I designed the original lifestyle program, Habits of Health 1.0, I focused on how to make lifestyle adaptations simpler and easier to apply. I packaged it into one system with consistent variable components, and I dispensed with gimmicks or logistically impossible tasks. These principles still remain at the heart of the system today. Let's go back to the caveat. I have been helping thousands of people achieve optimal health, and the most important variable on whether the Habits of Health transformational system works or not is you. This new version of the Habits of Health 2.0 is a vast improvement on the original and addresses many of the areas where people fell short of complete transformation, but success or failure is still dependent on you. I'll provide cool strategies, tools, skill sets, and easily adopted techniques to make the journey easy, but you still need to do the work. So if you're ready to make a change, but are not totally convinced that this system is right for you, let's take a look under the hood and explore what Dr. A's Habits of Health is all about. And we'll stop there. This plan is about much more than weight loss. It's about reaching and maintaining optimal health. And I am going to throw in right there, community is a huge, huge piece. And I remember when I did Weight Watchers, you did Weight Watchers until you got to your goal, and then you quit. What's different about Optavia? With Optavia, you stay. All of those tools are free to you. The only thing you buy is healthy fuel if you want to in optimization, the goal is to know how to do it with whole foods. But you stick to all of the habits. you stay in the community, you keep feeding yourself education. And I love Raquel's words from her father that you don't stop learning until you die. You know, that's a huge piece. So we stay in that. That's one of the reasons that we always encourage coaching. As you guys know, if we're coaching, coaching is not being the best coach. Coaching is being the best client. We plug into everything so that it overflows onto our clients. So it's my 2 cents anyway.